Hi, this is Mr. Abbott again, and out here at my place, and I thought I would teach you Lesson 8. Lesson 8, what are we going to learn about Lesson 8? Well, we'll figure that out in a minute. We're going to learn about trade, and we're going to learn about specialization in Lesson 8. And here's some things that can, look at this, that's my new generator that I talked about. It gets installed this Wednesday. Here's my property. I'll give you a pan of my property. See that thing? That's a birdhouse. There's no birdhouse there. That's the pole that holds the birdhouse. All right. Let's walk over here. Here you can see some of my property. My apple trees are in the back there. Here's my backyard. There's my shed. I'm going to be looking at my shed in a minute. Yeah. Here, this birdhouse is probably 30 years old. Oh, look in the back. Students, look. There's a flock of turkeys. See the turkeys? Let's see if I can get closer. They're running away from me. I hope you can see them in the background. There they go. A whole bunch of turkeys. Bunch of turkeys. Let's see if I can get closer. I don't think I can get closer. Got a bunch of things I gotta walk through. There. There. There's a flock of turkeys. All right? They're out this time of year. Okay. This is some kind of berry tree right here. Okay. So this is my backyard. And this is my birdhouse. Back to the birdhouse. This birdhouse is about 30 years old. I took it down. You see there's no roof on it. It's on this long pole. And I've hired a guy. He's going to be repairing that birdhouse for me, and he's going to build another birdhouse for the one that goes on the other pole. And so, those are some things I've got going on out here. And then we're going to talk about that in my lesson here. Let's sit inside my shed, though. So let's come in here. Whoa. And open my shed. Okay. A little dark in here. Let me turn some lights on. All right. I better turn my radio down. I leave my radio on all the time in here. Hang on just a second. Let me turn my radio down. Okay. So, I have a problem here in my shed. Here's my John Deere tractor. And I want you to look at the bottom here. I'm leaking oil. That's oil. And the oil filter is fine. I checked the oil filter. It's fine. So, there's something else going wrong with my tractor, and so it's going to need to be looked at. I got to move these apples. I got bushels of apples all over the place here. Okay. So let's talk then. Take care of my apples first. Okay. Let's talk about this lesson then. About my birdhouses. That was cool to see the turkeys. Well, let's talk about my birdhouses. And let's talk about my tractor that's leaking oil. And how it relates to Lesson 8. Lesson 8 is called the Division of Labor and Specialization. And the big picture item here is to specialize. And I'm just going to give you a big picture on specialization, productivity of labor, and then another thing called absolute and comparative advantage. So let's talk about that right now. Specialize means to specialize. Obviously, you specialize in something. In your book, it talks about, not everybody's going to be a baker. Not everybody's going to be a butcher. Not everybody's going to be a shoe repair, cobbler, making shoes, okay? And what I know about this in life is I'm not mechanically inclined. I do not have great carpentry skills. I don't even have good carpentry skills, okay? And so the birdhouses, I can't repair those and have them look good, all right? And so I've hired a guy I'm going to go out and work extra basketball games and volleyball games and create a little extra money that way, doing what I love to do. And then what I'll do, and then I'll pay the guy with the money that I earn for the birdhouses. Okay? I've got this oil leak here on my tractor. Now I'm watching that. I ran my tractor yesterday and mowed my lawn. Took me a couple hours. Got 2 acres here to mow. And I watched the oil level in the tractor, so it's all good. But I'm going to have a mechanic look at that and repair that. I can't do that myself because I don't have these mechanical skills. I don't have the tools. Now, I suppose I could learn, okay, some carpentry skills about birdhouses, or I suppose I could learn about how to repair this thing. But here's the problem with that. Or here's what happens with that, is to learn, it's going to take me time. It's going to take me time to learn. I might have to acquire some new tools. I don't have many tools, so I'm going to have to acquire some tools that'll be the right tools to fix this problem. So there's learning, and there's tools, and then there's the time that it takes. And I don't have great skill with these hands, but it's going to take some time. I probably could repair it, but it might take me quite a while to repair it. Now, the time it takes me to repair this thing, how long will it take somebody else to repair it? Maybe somebody else who has the tools, has the skill, has the knowledge, can repair it in less time, all right? And then, while I could be doing something else of value. Because it doesn't pay to do everything ourselves. And so so this is what we call specialization, is when somebody specializes in things. And so that's why there's a guy that's going to do my birdhouses because he specializes in that. There's a guy at Timberland Equipment here in our town that deals with tractors and engines, and they know how to do stuff like that. That's what they specialize in. And so, like I said, I am really good with volleyball and basketball and officiating, so I can do that and have them repair. And yes, I have to spend some money, but actually, in terms of my time and cost and all of that, it's a better deal. It's a better deal for me to do what I love to do, to make decent money at what I love to do, and let somebody else do what they love to do and can get it done quicker. All right? It doesn't pay me to try to do everything myself. And that's where trade comes in. You got two more terms in your book in lesson 8 that you might not understand. It's called absolute advantage and comparative advantage. And here's what it means. Like in the United States, we can do a lot of things here in the US versus maybe, let's say, Japan. We can do electronics, we can make cars, all right? However, and we can make a lot more electronics, create a lot more electronic goods, and we can make a lot more cars than Japan. Just sheer quantity, we have absolute advantage over Japan. But it doesn't make. But Japan can make electronic goods. It costs them less to make the electronic goods than what our costs. We might be able to produce more, but they can be more cost effective in the making of the electronic goods. And then when we take away the time, then when we look at the time that we take away from automobiles to try to do electronics, it doesn't make any sense. So, you know, it's like a lawyer who has his own law firm. He knows how to type, he's a really good typist, but he gets paid so much for being a lawyer, and the average wage of a typer is quite a bit less. But he can do all of it. But the time that he's typing, he's no longer doing his law thing, so all the time he's typing, he's losing money, if that makes sense. So he hires a secretary who she might not type as fast as he does. Okay? He has absolute advantage over her. He can type faster than her, and he's a lawyer. He can do law things. But the time that it takes, that he takes to type, he's losing money because he could devote that to being lawyer, advising, counseling, working up cases and all that. And so he hires the secretary, and she has the opportunity, she has the comparative opportunity on him, the comparative advantage on him. She'll type, he'll do the law thing. The United States should definitely make cars and let Japan make electronics. Mr. Abbott should definitely let a mechanic work on this tractor, and I'll go preach or referee or whatever, teach, and do that. That is the lesson. It's about absolute advantage is when one party can do more things overall than the other, but it doesn't make, because when they do more things, when they try to do everything, they actually aren't doing as well in some areas. So comparative advantage says, let's have other people do the things that we don't do nearly as well as they are. We're not quite as efficient. Let's have them do that. That's the lesson of Lesson 8 on specialization, divisions of labor, where we figure out who does what, and it's good then to trade. And that's going to get us later on into a lesson on trade. It's really, really good to trade. And so let's keep that in mind. Absolute advantage, comparative advantage. Just remember this. Some people just simply do some things better. And even though you could probably, and even though you might do something better than this person, the time it takes you away from other tasks that you enjoy and are good at doing, it's better just to have someone else do that. All right? That's the lesson. So I'm going to get this tractor fixed by a mechanic very soon. I'm going to have my birdhouses. That's already been done. The guy's working on it right now. And so maybe the next time I give you a little tour of the place, this will be fixed and I'll have my birdhouses up. All right? Thanks. Good to talk to you from my other man cave. And I hope you have a great week.